Imagine if a Shaolin monk started going to a regular school, what would happen to the other kids? That's what our story is about. The story starts with a boy named Li, who learned Kung Fu in a Shaolin monastery. He trained there since he was born. One day, Li went to the monastery's temple and apologized because what he was about to do might not be right. At that moment, a warrior attacked him from the side. Li was surprised by the sudden attack, but he managed to fight back. The warrior threw him against the wall, but Li jumped back up. He hit the warrior's pressure points in the air and defeated him in a few moments. Then came a swordsman. Li also defeated him with his skills. After that, he moved towards the third warrior. This warrior was meditating, but when he heard Li's footsteps, he threw his prayer beads at a mirror, breaking it, and the shards cut Li's eyes. Then the warrior kicked Li and threw him to the ground. Just as the warrior was about to win, Li slipped and escaped, and then a big fight started between them. In the end, Li won. Then he bowed in the temple and went outside. The monastery teacher told him that he showed the most skill in the exams, so he got a chance to go to a new school in the city. In the city, he would live with a family of two kids and their father. The man was a scientist who knew the monastery teacher. Then Li set off for the new city. At school, there was a 15-year-old boy named Fan, who was a taekwondo player. His little sister, Shan, loved her brother very much. The school's taekwondo club was managed by Lan. She watched Fan's fights and told him his weaknesses so he could improve. Lan's brother, Yu, was always hungry and only thought about food. They were all good friends and lived nearby. Their father worked very hard. His wife had passed away years ago, so he focused on his work. He was making a special device that some city gangsters wanted. The father called his kids, but Lan wasn't happy because her father never came home. The doctor promised to come soon and told them to open a gift he sent home. Actually, the gift box had the device the gangsters wanted. Li knocked on the door, and Lan let him in. She took him to his room. Meanwhile, the gangsters kidnapped their father. The gang leader, Larry, threatened the father to get the device. The doctor said he didn't have such a device. He said he was working on AI technology so his kids could talk to robots with their mother's voice. But Larry didn't believe him. He used CCTV footage and found out that two guys, Slop and Fist, were going to steal the device. Slop and Fist were happy because it was their first mission as gangsters. They disguised themselves with strange clothes and stood outside Lan's house. One of them decided to go inside at night, but the other said they should steal it during the day when the kids went to school. Li was learning the ways of the new city. He saw Lan watching a taekwondo match and found the sport interesting. At night, when he was meditating, Yu's video game noise caused an argument between them, but soon they both enjoyed playing video games together. Meanwhile, Lan opened the gift box in her room and found a panda keychain. She didn't know it was actually a pen drive the gangsters were after. When Lan pressed a button, the panda told her to set a password. Lan said, "What password?" And that became the password. When she turned on the panda, she found out it had her mother's AI voice. The next morning, Li went to school with Yu and Lan on his first day. The two gangsters saw the kids leaving and decided to carry out their plan. But then, one of them saw the panda keychain hanging from Lan's bag. Now they planned to steal the device from Lan. On the way, Lan introduced Li to Fan. At that moment, a gangster secretly stole the keychain and ran away. Li saw him and quickly caught him. Fan also came to help and they both beat up the gangster. But the gangster still didn't give up and stole the panda again and ran. Now all the friends chased him, trapped him in a trash can, and rolled him down the street. Then, at school, the kids in Li's class were surprised to see a Shaolin monk. She started asking him if he could ever get married. He asked her silly questions back, like, "Can you marry me? Show me some kung fu. Just once. Show me kung fu, it'll be fun." Finally, the teacher calmed them down and said they could do all that during playtime. During playtime, their coach announced that their fitness test would be next month, and anyone who didn't pass wouldn't move to the next class. Yu got very worried because he was very overweight. He could barely walk. Then the coach made everyone run a 100-meter race. Li finished 2 laps way before time, while the other kids were still on their first lap. After that, they were told to do push-ups. Li was already an expert. He did more than 100 push-ups, and the other kids couldn't even do 2. Then he started doing push-ups with one hand. All the kids started cheering when they saw his skill. Next was the high jump. This was easy for Li. Poor Yu fell flat on his face. Meanwhile, at Dr. Han's place, Larry had him tied to a chair and was bothering him by hitting him with golf balls. At night, the two gangsters saw a chance and sneaked into Lan's house. Li saw them and hid behind a toy, trying to scare them, but they quickly saw him and attacked him. When Lan came there, the gangsters stole the panda and ran away. Li told Lan and Yu everything, but they thought he was joking. Then we see the two gangsters putting golf balls in their mouths. Actually, they had mistakenly stolen a perfume that looked like the panda keychain. Larry had to sell a special device to a company within 3 days, and he was getting anxious. He angrily hit the gangsters with golf balls and ordered them to bring the device quickly. The next day at school, all the kids were watching Fan's taekwondo match. Yu and Sean were sitting behind two ugly girls and talking. These girls were actually the two gangsters in disguise. They saw the panda on Lan's bag and waited for the right moment to steal it. At that moment, Lee challenged Fan to a match. All the kids ran to watch this fun match. Now, the gangsters saw the right opportunity and tried to steal the panda from the bag, but their fake hair got stuck in the process. Meanwhile, Fan and Lee were having a tough fight. Both were equally strong. Finally, they decided to call it a draw, and the match ended. At that moment, everyone turned around and recognized the two gangsters. The kids attacked them together, but this time, they threatened a little girl and ran away with the panda device. Then the kids went to the principal and called the police, explaining everything. Lee felt responsible because if he hadn't challenged Fan, Lan wouldn't have left her bag. But the other kids comforted him and said he shouldn't think like that. Finally, Larry got the device and ran a program on the computer, but he needed a password to use it. He didn't know it. He asked some programmers to crack it, but nothing happened all day. Now Larry was extremely angry. Then he saw a message from Dr. Han's daughter on his phone. Lan wanted her father to come home for her birthday tomorrow. Larry promised to come to the party on Dr. Han's behalf. The next day, Lan and her friends were preparing for her birthday party. The others left Lan alone at home to buy gifts for her. Then Lan got a message from her father saying he was outside, but as soon as she went out, someone kidnapped her and took her away in a van. At that moment, Lee and his friends saw Lan in the van and chased her on their bicycles. Finally, they all reached Dr. Han's lab and saw Lan crying. Inside, Larry and his business partner were arguing because Larry was supposed to sell the special device the next day, but he still didn't know the password. Now, Larry angrily held a knife to Lan's throat and asked her for the password. Lan replied with the password, and the program started. Outside, the two gangsters from the beginning were guarding the place. Lee and Fan attacked them and defeated them in a few moments. But then, they faced Larry's man, Bradley. He was also a dangerous fighter, so Lee and Fan couldn't defeat him even together. Inside the lab, Larry's deal was about to be finalized when Yu came in secretly and freed his sister and father. Then they also fought the gangsters. At that moment, Larry took the pen drive and ran outside, but Dr. Han, Yu, and Lan beat him up. Once again, Fan and Lee teamed up to fight Bradley, and finally they managed to defeat him. In the end, the police arrived and caught all the gangsters. Later, Lee and Yu received medals from the principal for their bravery. If you liked the video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.